And good morning. Welcome to today's races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter along with Keith Fustel. A beautiful, brisk fall afternoon of racing here at Laurel Park. Today will be on the turf. Fast and good are the conditions. Lots of action. We have a carryover in our Rainbow Pick 6, but that big national wager, the big Stronach 5, it paid, almost $90,000 to one ticket last week.
Single ticket last week. Do your homework. Get on it. It's not easy, but I mean it's a dollar.
Stronach 5.
Yeah, Stronach 5 board if you've got it. But and it's been pretty good all along when you take it. A big payout first week and second and third, considering the odds of the winners. You want to take a strong look at the Stronach 5. I'm going to start you off today at 4:30 at Gulfstream Park West.
It's a tough sequence. I have a ticket. It's a dollar minimum play, so it's a little more pricey. I have a single on my ticket. I singled on Brickyard Kitten.
Wow, okay.
As Laurel Park Race 10 is going to be the fourth leg of today's Stronach 5. So there's my ticket. I'm 3 deep in that first leg. It's going to start at Gulfstream Park West, Race 7. That's going to start about 4:30. I'm 3 deep there. And then Santa Anita Race 3 is the second leg. I'm 4 deep there with the 4, 5, 7, 9. Back to Gulfstream West for Race 8. I'm 3 deep there. Then I single on Brickyard Kitten here at Laurel for the fourth leg. And then the fifth and final leg at Golden Gate Fields. Race 5, I go with the 3-9 there. So a $72 ticket. You can study that some more on the laurelpark.com website underneath the handicapping section. My pick 6 tickets up there as well. Keith likes the early pick 4 today. And let's show you the carryover we have today in that 20-cent Rainbow pick 6. There it is. It's getting up there pretty nice. A little over 9,000 today. They hit it. There was a live single going into the last race yesterday for a little over 12,000.
Wow.
That single didn't come through. You had multiple 6 out of 6 winners. It still paid over $1,000 yesterday, so not bad for the pick 6 payout yesterday. Nice carryover today of over 9,000. We're going to be on both tracks today. Let's show you a picture of the main track in the turf. Main track fast turf is good, but the times they were pretty good yesterday on the turf.
I mean, I think if we could get a little bit more warmth, a little more sunshine, we could firm things up on this turf course. We're going to stay it good. Still some divots coming up. At times, very respectable. The inner portion of the turf course, speed was pretty good for the most part in those sprints. We did see the Goldberg runner come from several lengths. Yeah, Mr. Recorder from about 5 or 6 lengths off of it from mid-pack. Strong run from her. But all in all, surface is pretty fair, both turf and main track.
All right, so some nice big fields on the turf today. Let's get right to it here. In race 1, we have a nice little carryover in the rolling super high 5. That has a low 15% takeout. Every race with 7 or more horses, we have the rolling super high 5, and the carryover here in starting in race 1, $922. Also in race 1, we kick off the early pick 5 in race 1. Both your pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Your best bet with that 12% takeout. It's a mandatory payout here on the early pick 5. Now, we've had a late scratch here in race 1. Take the 8 out of my picks, guys. The 8, True Cat. True Cat's a late scratch. So just put up 2, 1A, 4 for me. We'll figure out the last spot to round out the superfecta later. My picks here in the first 2, 1A, 4. True Cat, a late scratch here in the opener. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track, claiming 5,000. Never won 2, 3, and up. My top pick, the 2 Disco Express from the inside here. Mike Trombetta having a big, strong meet. Horacio Caramanos will ride a good second at this level last time, going 7 furlongs. I'm sorry. Now a little cut back to 6 furlongs today. This horse should be dead game if there's a battle going to the wire. I don't like the inside post, but I think the 2 Disco Express, one of the best horses in this race.
Yeah, pretty quick internals last time out and held quite well. Made a move to the inside of Valadier. I think that was a back-to-back winner for Claudio Gonzalez. So Disco Express shortening up off of a top number with these claimers on the dirt and sprinting. Trombetta is 21%, so not too bad right there. Disco Express should be right up with the pace throughout in this 6 furlong affair. I go for a little bit of a price for the 5. Mutarami, I know this horse right now at 5. I think it will hedge up a little bit just off the kind of 2 dismal numbers in the last 2 out at Suffolk and at Delaware Park. A little freshening, back to a surface. He really thrives at Laurel Park. I know he hasn't had a win, but he's run some of his better races over this dirt track. I go back to the race in March behind Papazar. That's good enough for me. That 59 would win this race. I think he's going to make a good move. Freshened up is the key. The barn coming back to life. Wayne Potts, I think, has a solid shot here with a price with Mutarami.
Yeah, the horse is coming at some key races. I didn't use the horse, but 3 for 3 in the money here at Laurel Park. I'll use the 5 Mutarami as my fourth pick here in this race. You talked me on to the 5, so I'll be 2, 1A, 4, 5 here in the opener. You'll get a good price there on Mutarami there as we kick off the early pick 5. Who else will we like here? The 4 Choco Mont for Carlos Mencia's taking a dropping class today. This is the cheapest this horse has run. Jorge Riaz aboard for Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, he looks like the miles just a touch too much right now. 6 furlongs a turn back. This horse has shown the ability to rally in at a sprint. Yeah, Patriotic Quest, the entry of Tappin on the side. I think the better of the two is Tappin on the side in good form. And Katie Davis right now, what, 2 wins yesterday?
Yeah, had a big day
on the
yesterday.
grass. Got the opener for Lacey Gaudet, who that barn remains hot. Tappin on the side works well, kind of a stalking trip. Port Louis, an interesting one. Michael Merriman now. This horse in debut kind of bucked the bias and then just hasn't been able to run back. Reported first-time gelding. I think Port Louis will be fine in the return.
All right, so nice nickel 2 life going 6 furlongs on the main track there to kick off that early pick 5. You like the early pick 4. That starts in race 2, a big field going long on the Fort Marcy turf course. Let's check out your pick 4 ticket, see how you played it.
Yeah, not terribly expensive, $18 with spread. I really like the 8. I'm going to go ahead and single in race 5, the 8 horse with Trevor McCarthy. That would be Salt Pond for trainer Bruce Brown. I go 3 deep to get you started. The 1, 8, and 9, a bomb price here in race 2. And Merriman Sip It All, a user. Going to go against the favorite. Third race, 1, 6, and 7. I think the logical horses in there. Fourth race, 1, 2, 3, and 5. It was a race where you're thinking, yeah, who do I line the favorite? Christy Claggett. Remember a couple weeks ago we had a frock exacta.
Yep.
You could have a Christy Claggett exacta here in race 4.
Maiden 10.
Yeah, going to go ahead and spread there and single Salt Pond. Really nice improvement on the barn change there for Bruce Brown's runner. I think will be perfectly placed just off the pace.
All right, nice maiden special weight there in the 5th race to wrap up this early pick 4 and early pick 5. Let's take a look at the second race. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Fort Marcy turf course, rail at 87 feet, maiden claiming 16,000 for filly mares 3 and up. My top pick here is the 7, Dumb to the Dum Dum from the Michael Dickinson barn. Mario Pino on this 4-year-old daughter of Mineshaft. An okay 5th last out. That was first-time blinkers at 22-1 on a yielding turf course, and just an okay 5th that day. But that was coming off a long layoff. Now a big drop to the maiden 16 from maiden special weight, second off the layoff. The 7, I think, is going to be awfully tough here. Drop in second off the layoff for Top Connections.
Yeah, and that was our little faux pas there, Stan. No blinkers on the 7.
Last out.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So we whiffed on that one. It happens now. You know how many thousands of things we've got to type in? We grab.
I've made a living off making whiffing.
But no, I don't know what the 7's going to do chasing the pace of Artful Move. It's pretty quick and held gamely in its most recent turf start. You got to go back to August 19th. I thought that was a good try. Daniela has held form. I think that horse is going to be a very short price. Make a move. I want to see her kind of sustain here. I'm against her at a short price. I go to the 9 at Tropis. Returning off of a break, hasn't been seen since June the 9th behind Dancing with Pain. We're going to go drop from maiden special weight to maiden 16. Lasix comes off. It could be a key move. They might have figured something out about this horse. I go back to the 3-back try in April over this turf course. Monte Krista, stakes winner. Draconic Treasure, next out winner. I think it was 2 or 3 next out winners in that race, and another horse came back to run really well. I think Atropos, given the time, attack move here just before turf season ends. I like this horse for Kelly Rubley, somewhere from mid-pack.
All right, yeah, you get Toledo. I didn't use the 9, but you'll get a good price there for Top Connections. We both like the 8 here, Artful Move. Your likely pace setter in this race, Forest Boyce on this Wilburn filly for Flynn Stice. She's going to probably go right to the front, see how far she can go. She just missed doing that 3 back at 33-1.
Yeah, stamina seems to have kind of improved of recent note. I think that's good enough. The 3-back race, if she clears, she's going to be awfully tough. She runs a 63 buyer. I think that would win this race. So the closers from the back of the pack, maybe Little Maeve will make a run with Sheldon Russell. And Sip It All is the bomb shot. I've been waiting for this horse to get back onto the turf course off of that July 1st race at 82-1. Needed her that day.
Right.
would have taken down the early pick 4. It would have been monstrous that afternoon. But a lot of trouble through the last 3/16 of a mile. If you get a chance, we should have used that as a video spotlight. Go back and watch that race. Finally gets back to the turf, going to slip away their price, but you do get Trevor McCarthy. I like that.
Yeah, Trevor McCarthy had a big price there on the one Sip It All in race 2. Keith likes. Let's turn the page here. Race 3, we're going 5.5 furlongs on the Kelso Turf Course rail at 35 feet. And this is a nice
Like
feature of the day here. It's like a stake race, a $55,000 allowance purse, 3 and up. No conditions here. A wide open allowance field in race 3. I go with my best bet of the day on the outside here. Dubini for trainer Kate DeMasi. Alex Cintron on this 5-year-old son of Gio Ponte, a real good second last out on a yielding turf course in the Laurel Dash, second behind Class and Cash, who's who's a top turf sprinter against Stakes Company. I was coming back after a couple months off, now right back on the Laurel turf, has speed on the outside. We'll get a nice trip in here with Alex Cintron, the 7. Dubini, my top pick against a real tough field here in our allowance feature of the day.
I do believe we'll be the favorite, the one to beat. Let's show that video. We've got that, right? Of the September 22nd race in the Laurel Dash. We're going to shorten up today from that 6 furlong distance. Little firmer ground as well. Dubini, though, kind of battled for the lead and shook clear. Interesting to see him that close to the pace. He's kind of comes from a little bit further back. Maybe he really relished the yielding going. Opens up 3, almost 3.5 past the 8th pole. Just can't hold off. Class and Cash is going to run him down late, but dead game over another key horse fielder who comes running late. Class and Cash to the inside. So Dubini right back. I don't know, expect him right up on the lead like he was. I mean, slower internals, a softer course, but certainly holding very good form for DeMasi, and we'll make a run into it. And quality race here you get in race 3. I go to the inside, Tom Blaine, who was the favorite in the Laurel Dash, and I'm going to throw that race out because of that yielding turf. You go 3 back on the firm ground, going 6 furlongs at Belmont behind beats White Flag. White Flag I think recently just got beat in a grade 3 down at Kentucky Downs. Tom Blaine, I think, makes amends for the dismal try on the yielding surface.
I used a horse in my exacta. It has some early speed. It's going to need to break sharp from the inside underneath Victor Carrasco. Hope this horse likes the good going today. Rather, didn't like the yielding going at all in the Laurel Dash last out. So I use him as well. We both like the 6 here on the outside. Simon Barr Sinister for trainer John Mazza. Trevor McCarthy on this 7-year-old by Warfront. This horse has made over $200,000 on the turf. A nice win, 2 back at Belmont against 2 other than Allowance Company, going 6 furlongs on the turf. That was his first race this year, coming off a long layoff, and then maybe bounced a little bit against Stakes Company last out at Monmouth. Lightly raced. This is only his 3rd start this year, but they've made a bunch of money with this horse, the 6 Simon Barr Sinister.
In the way that turf course, it was pretty good if you were up closer to the pace on the Kelso, the rail setting at 35 feet. Looking at this race, Smoking Nitro's awfully quick for Jamie Ness, so I think this horse will go ahead and go. But I think Simon Barr Sinister with McCarthy, I wouldn't be surprised if Trevor's aggressive and just kind of spies the speed and tries to attack somewhere around the turn, because this horse will fight you tooth and nail from the top of the stretch to the wire.
And how about the 5, Sonny Inspired? You get a top turf rider, Daniel Centeno, on this 7-year-old son of Artie Schiller for Phil Schoenthal. They made over $600,000 with this horse now, and he's good on the dirt, turf. He can run on anything. He's a 3-time winner on the Laurel Grass, 8 for 11 in the money on the Laurel Grass, and he just had a nice win in the Fine Stakes last out. He had a nice win in the Ben's Cat, going 6 furlongs on the turf back in August. So what a nice 7-year-old Sonny Inspired is now. Over $610,000 in earnings.
It kind of disappeared late last year. He's rounding back into form. Is he? Is top form? I don't know, but last race, last couple good indicators, and that try. He got the right kind of setup in the Ben's Cat. He just might get it again today if we get a dual developing on the front end. I like a little bit more ground for him, but you certainly got to like a horse like this. So yeah, Smoking Nitro I think is a horse to catch. Let's see how far he can go. I think he's going to have some quality horses breathing down his neck though when they turn for home.
All right, so a real nice allowance feature of the day. They're going 5.5 on the Kelso in race 3. Let's take a look at the fourth race. We kick off the middle pick 4 here in race 4. Maiden, it's a wide open. Maiden claiming 10,000. Filly mares 3 and up, going 7 furlongs on the main track. I don't blame you for going 4 deep on your early pick 4 ticket in this race. I go with the 5. We both go with the 5. Jacobella on top. First off the claim for Carlos Mencia. Jorge Reyes will ride this 3-year-old filly by Giacomo. Didn't run too well last out. That was going long on the turf against Maiden, 16,000 back in August. Carlos waits the 30 days, drops in for the Maiden 10, cuts back in distance, goes to the dirt. They're trying everything here with the 5, Jacobella, and they luck out here. They catch a real soft spot. So today could be the day for this filly, Jacobella.
Yeah, first time blinkers on the dirt. I did not have them in debut at Pimlico behind Hot Freeze. She was proven to be okay. Did not show any real speed with the blinkers on the turf. But coming back, I think probably to the preferred surface. You look on the bottom side, the City Swinger, the mare. Both of her wins were sprinting on the dirt. Yeah, I'm going to use Jacobella, but the one to catch certainly is going to be the 3. Sweet Willella for Christy Claggett. Improved a little stamina last time out, held well. Can it get the extra furlong against this group? It would not be a surprise if she goes coast to coast.
Yeah, that's what I put down there. 7 furlongs question mark. She'll be in front with the Bug Girl Talia Pustina, but can she get the 7 furlongs here in race 4? Christy Claggett with another one in there, making her second start capable lady. Might improve a little bit. Didn't run too bad at this level in debut. Didn't load very well. Was steady. So they figured out the gate problems a little bit. This mare could run a little bit better today.
Late to the race as a 5-year-old firster. Almost going to be sick here. Certainly legitimate trouble. Reluctant, might have lost a little bit of energy there behind the gate, then a steady early. The one, I guess, is the horse. If you're going to look for the wake-up, it's probably going to be this one. Was hammered down in a 9-horse field, and even drawing the rail, still was bet down to 3-1. Broke slowly, just kind of walked out of the gate and was under pressure into the turn, just never picked it up. Maybe that little bit of experience will certainly, pick that horse's head up and see a major improvement today. This is the type of filly that will just second out could really turn it around.
Sure.
The way she was bet. Yep.
All right, so we kick off the middle pick 4 there in race 4. Let's get a quick commercial break. Nice carryover today in the Rainbow pick 6. That's over 9,000. That starts in race 5. I have a ticket. We'll check it out right after this.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet. Sign up for an ExpressBet online betting account and receive up to a $500 sign-up bonus.
All right, welcome back. Real nice carryover today in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. That starts in race 5. We had a single going into the last race yesterday for over 12,000. They put over 6,000 new money into it yesterday. With nice carryover today. There it is, $9,034. It'll be around at least 15,000, I think, today. I have a ticket. Let's take a look. A very affordable $43.20 play. I'm going to go 3 deep in the opening leg. A real nice maiden special weight. Going 5.5 on the Fort Marcy turf course. I like the 4, 8, 9, the 8. Salt Pond, who you like in this race, Keith? Salt Pond with Trevor McCarthy, my top pick here in the 5th race. Then I'm going 4 deep there in race 6. That's a wide open maiden, 16,000, 2-year-old filly, 6 furlongs on the main track. Wide open. Robbie Bales has 2 nice fillies in there, but there are no locks, so I'm 4 deep in race 6. The 11 is my top pick, Coquetta for Robbie Bales. Okay. Race 7, a nice 2 other than allowance feature, 3 and up, going long on the Kelso turf course. I go 3 deep there with the 1, 3, 10, the 3 Dream Doctor for Tim Woolley, my top pick there in the 7th race. And then race 8, a nice first level allowance for Filly Mares going 3/4. I think the 7 Gotham Gala just put a line through that last race. She's a lot better than that. I think Delacour has her back in good form today. Gets reacquainted with Daniel Centeno. So I'll key on the 7 Gotham Gala in race 8. Maiden 10 in race 9, going 6 furlongs to the main track. I go 6-10 there. And then a real nice 8,000 starter allowance in the finale today, going a mile on the Kelso. I used the top 3 in there, the 6, 7, and the 9. The 9, my top pick, Brickyard Kitten, looking to make it 4 in a row on the Laurel turf. He's won 4 of his last 5 on the Laurel Turf for Kieran McGee. So Brickyard Kitten figures to be awfully tough there in race 10.
I see you got Creepy the Crab. Is today the day?
Today could be the day
little
for
crab
Creepy
soup
the
would
Crab.
be good too. On
Little
a
hot
nice
melon
chili.
crab
Yeah.
soup
Oh,
or cream
perfect.
and crab. Cream and crab, you mix them together, get a little crazy. Yeah, it could be the day for Creepy the Crab there in that soft maiden 10 later on. Let's take a look at the 5th race. A real nice maiden special weight filly mares 3 and up, 5.5 on the Fort Marcy. Rail at 87 feet. My top pick in here, you like Salt Pond as well. A nice improvement last out, going 6 furlongs on a yielding turf course at Belmont against Maiden 40. Got in front that day by 2, turnover home. It was first time blinkers. She was 28-1 that day. Just gets a run down late by Kyoto, who comes right back to win. But a big 72 buyer for this filly last out. So that speed on the outside, that puts her right there against Maiden Special Weight Company today.
Yeah, I don't think she necessarily needs to lead. I think Trevor can kind of put her, if she breaks early, put her where he wants. We gave you a little tell there in debut for the Maiden Special Weight. You see that late run 4 wide upper, a little bladed without the blinkers. The blinkers went on first off the claim, and we saw a sharp rise in talent there for Salt Pond. So Salt Pond, I think clearly the one to beat in race 5. You've got a Stidham horse coming back to the turf. A couple tries on the synthetics up at Woodbine really didn't pan out, but encouraging debut back in July at Monmouth. I think this is another one that we'll have to kind of pick up a few lengths to run down. I think Salt Pond's going to have the jump on her, but she certainly can make a run to be a major factor in here.
So we both like the 8 and the 9. We both like the 4 a little bit here as well. Shanghai Jewel for Hammy Smith. A nice effort sprinting on the turf back in October of last year. Maiden Special Weight. 6 furlongs on the turf at Belmont. A good third that day. Was in front, turnover home, 69 buyer. And then went over the rail last December down there at Gulfstream. Had to come back off a long layoff here in early October against Maiden Special Weight. 7 furlongs on the dirt. She ran okay that day. They bet her down to about 7-2. Now she gets to the turf, second off the layoff. She could be a factor here before Shanghai Jewel.
Yeah, Proctor doesn't really do a whole lot with the 11. His first-time starters, he's got the 11 in here. Atalanta Bell. Data link, not super strong this time. He's only hitting with 4 or 5% of his first-time starters, but the bottom side is good. This is the first foal for a mare that was a 7-time turf winner, had tactical speed, ran upwards of the 88, 89 buyer figures on the grass. Tracks Vargas, like the works, too. Some stronger works back in early mid-September up at Fairhill. This could be a little sleeper here, the 11 Proctor. Just the fact that he just doesn't win a lot first time out, but in this field, yeah, she's certainly very capable, I believe.
All right, so nice big field here. Maiden Special Weight, 5.5 there on the Fort Marcy to kick off the pick 6. We start the late pick 5. The late pick 5 yesterday with no carryover, paid a little over $2,000 with that industry low 12% takeout. You got to jump in here on the pick 5s at Laurel Park. It starts in race 6 today. The late pick 5, a maiden claiming $16,000 for 2-year-old fillies. 6 furlongs on the main track. We have a video to show you here in race 6. This is a wide open, a big 14-horse field going short on the main track. Here's My Muchacha last race. My Muchacha, the one for Jose Corrales today.
Yeah, we're going to go back to that debut. And chasing Sipa Sunshine, the 4-5 shot, all the way around the racetrack. Corrales, doesn't usually attract a ton of play with his debut runners, but did this particular day. Was bet down the 5-1 in a 7-horse field, and really just valiant effort all the way to the wire. Switched to the correct lead there at the 16th pole. Good enough race that they said, okay, let's go ahead, raise up to a maiden special. We're going to go ahead and put the blinkers on, but unfortunately he's down inside and encountered trouble into a very quick first quarter of a mile. You see 22 flat. Second time blinkers, draws inside. We're going to need an alert break, but My Muchacha certainly could be on the engine and go a long way in race 6. I'm going to try a blow up in here. Bigger field. We've got 2 scratches. Scratch the 2 Nosy Josie and the 9 Hot Biscuit, but the 8 Silver Sides. Now third-time starter here for Hammy Smith. Hammy Smith does well with his maiden claimers on the dirt. Excuse in last. Went back. I got the Timonium race. I watched her at Timonium pretty closely. Didn't get involved till the last maybe 50, 60 yards. But when she galloped out, she had a ton of run. Went all the way around down through the backstretch. Stopped over at the, I think, and watched the pig races there around the quarter pole. But Silver Sides, look for a wake-up dropping from maiden special weight to maiden claiming. I think there's enough speed in here. Not a lot of finish. I think she's going to have some finish against this group.
You have a big drop for a top barn here with Centron aboard. They have to figure out the gate issues, though, on this field. She was bumped at the start in her debut, bumped around here at Laurel last out, but takes a big drop today, and in just a matter of time before Hambone gets the gate issues figured out. The 11, I go with Coquetta from the Robbie Bales barn. You get top rider today, Trevor McCarthy. This filly a good second last out against Maiden 25,000. Now takes a drop to the Maiden 16. She has the experience. She's been running well. You get McCarthy, and you'll get a decent price here because it's a wide open, big field. It's a great betting race here.
It is.
In race 6, you're getting 6-1 on the 11 Coquetta.
I had a brutal time getting through this field trying to line to make it all add up.
Right.
And it settled on a 9-2 favorite. Summer Smile, the money is kind of poured on her, but she's stuck outside now, the 12 post, and she's another one at 6 furlongs. So is she going to be able to kind of follow through? I think she's going to be right with the pace turning for home. But, yeah, you got to take something between 6, 8, 10 to 1 in this race. Take a stab in race number 6.
I go 4 deep using the 1, 11, 13, 14, but the 8, nice price you have there on top. Silver Steins. Let's take a look here at the 7th race. We kick off the late pick 4 in race 7. A nice 2 other than allowance feature late in the day here. 3 and up. Optional claiming 35,000. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Kelso turf course here in race 7. Rail at 35 feet. My top pick here in the 7th race is the 3, Dream Doctor for trainer Tim Woolley. A big effort last out on a yielding turf course back in early August, and the horse hasn't run since August 9th, but he's been in a couple times and scratched when it came off the turf. So Dream Doctor sitting on a big race. You get Sheldon Russell on this 7-year-old for Tim Woolley. He's 2 for 2 in the money here at Laurel Park. Not no wins yet, but I think today's the day. It was just second behind Just Howard last out, who's a graded stakes winner going long on the turf.
Not a ton of flow in here when you're really looking at it. Maybe Baltic Guard is going to go right to the front and steal this race. Lemonade Thursday, possibly. Delacour's other horse, he's got 2 in here, uncoupled entry, surprise twist to the outside. Maybe he'll go send Lemonade Thursday to try to keep the 1 occupied. This horse is probably going to be able to go away and clear, though, the 1. Dream Doctor should fall into a great trip. I like the 2, though. Jason Service on the grass, that's good enough for me. Lightly raced, 6-year-old, only 15 starts, but has hit the board a bunch of times. I go back to the race at Monmouth. I know that was only an A other than. He's stepping up here to the 2 other than. But Bird's Nest Party came back to recently win a 2 other than at Kentucky Downs, facing some crack turf horses down there. McCarthy's going to have this horse in the right spot at the right time to go ahead and make the move. I think he's going to have him into the race by the time they turn for home.
My horse coming off a freshening, so I don't have too much room to talk. But this horse coming off a little freshening as well, and lots of lines in his form this year. Lightly raced this year. I respect him. Jason Service, 29% from a big, large sampling on the turf with a positive ROI. You get McCarthy, should get a nice ground-saving trip. Comes out of the super fast race where super fast came right back to win. So I like the 2. We both like the 1 here. Baltic Art. If this 5-year-old's back in good form, now second off the layoff, he could be awfully dangerous. He's a 2-time winner with a second from 3 starts on the Laurel turf. He won going wire to wire on a yielding turf course back in May of 2017 here at Laurel with Forest Boys. Gets Forest Boys today. Didn't run too well last out, but that was an off the turf race against 2 other than. It was a tough race coming off a long layoff, but now second off the layoff, you get a nice inside trip here. Probably going to go right to the front. Baltic Art could run a big effort today.
No doubt. She's the right kind of rider that can just nurse a horse on the lead. She's going to need to do it. I think these other runners are not going to want to let this Baltic Art kind of slip away, pop away by 3, turning for home. He could be gone on this good turf course today. You also used the 10 here, surprise twist. This is a horse that's definitely improved since being gelded back in June. An excuse behind Dream Doctor and Just Howard. I don't know why he got so far back at Kentucky Downs. Not terribly far back. There was slow pace, 5 or 6 out of it. I thought he could have been a little bit closer there when looking at his other races and comparing the internals. But I think he's going to drop over, draft in, save a little bit of ground. You're going to see a solid run reunited with Centano. I think this horse improves today.
All right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 7 to kick off the late pick 4. Race 8, a real nice first level allowance condition. Filly mares 3 and up, 6 furlongs furlongs on the main track. I single on the 7 Gotham Gallo. Just forget that last race up there at Parks. That can be a tricky track up there. She didn't break very well. She was wide. She had a new jockey up there. It just didn't go well. She was the beaten favorite, but she gets back with Daniel Centeno today. Delacour wouldn't be bringing her back to the races unless this well-bred Smart Strike filly was ready to go. They paid a bunch of money for her as a yearling filly at Keeneland. She gets back to top form today with Centeno, the 7 Gotham Gallo.
Yeah, I revert to that form back on September the 1st. Certainly she could go ahead and measure the speed, and really like the debut of the one Ms. Creed, who was able to nurse along coming in from Charlestown, took some play and held quite well through the stretch. A buyer of 62 Rumor Ridge, I think, will improve second off of left. We got a video real quick of the 4 Tiger Eyes going back to December of 17. Tiger Eyes, third time now off of a layoff, turning back in distance, coming out of that tough starter with Lady Terp, who just loves Laurel. You see Tiger Eyes there, though. Break a little slowly. Right there in the black and the yellow, almost a little bit of a steady out of the gate, and it has to be used 4 and 5 wide into contention against She Rolls, who was really good at the time. You remember She Rolls ran well in the stakes at a big price, and you see this moving up 5 or 6 wide. Now the outside was pretty good back still into December, but I like the way this horse maintained all the way to the wire. Turn back in distance could be the key for the 4 Tiger Eyes. Let's go to the 9th.
Well, so we like the same 4 there in race 8. Race 9, so wide open maiden, 10,000. 3 and up, 6 furlongs on the main track here in race 9. I go with the 6 on top. Glenn's Caper from the Jerry Brooks barn. Aaron Walker on this 4-year-old gelding by Action. Okay, third last out at this level, going a mile. Cut was in front early and just got a little tired. Now cuts back to 6 furlongs today. Jerry Brooks going route to sprint. He's a solid 19% and a positive ROI. This horse catches a soft group today here in race 9, guys. Race 9. I have the 6 Glenn's Caper on top.
I thought he held quite well after dueling through a pretty decent third quarter when you consider the type of horses Glenn's Caper. Will he be on the lead in here? I guess if you wanted to, they could probably go ahead and be right towards the front. Let's take Creepy the Crab. Katie Davis, great name. He's run a couple races back to back that have been pretty good for the level. And just maintain form. And Slim, Slim I think will improve. But
Slim.
These horses, 0 for 19, 0 for 25. We got to root for Creepy.
Creepy's finally put back-to-back races together.
Okay.
Maybe Katie Davis has figured out the whole card on this horse and has some run out of him. So 6-10, 10-6 here. We both like the 1 and the 5 as well in race 10 and 9. Let's turn the page here. Race 10's a real nice race, going a mile on the Kelso rail at 35 feet, an 8,000 starter allowance for 3 and up. This race is the 4th leg of the Stronach 5 today, race 10. It's going to go off about 5:24. My top pick and my single on my Stronach 5 ticket is the 9 Brickyard Kitten. We have a video spotlight. Let's show you his last race, July 29th here at Laurel Park over a good turf course. There he is, a wide, about mid-pack turner for home, and he just comes with his normal grinding stretch rally, gets up to win by a length and a quarter this day. This was his 3rd win in a row on the Laurel turf, his 4th out of 5 starts on the Laurel turf. He's won. Kieran McGee has his 8-year-old son of Kitten's Joy. He's made over $250,000 on the turf, looking for his 10th lifetime win on the turf. McGee has his 8-year-old in top form. He's coming off a layoff. He hadn't been to the races about 3 months now. However, he's been entered a couple times and had to scratch when the races came off the turf. So he's been race ready now. He's been ready to go for a while now. So it's kind of like he's not coming off a layoff.
Right,
he's been ready to go. The 9 Brickyard Kitten, my top pick.
And he didn't. You see it there from January to April, was able to go ahead and get up at Laurel Park. Yeah, he just kind of knows where the wire is. You got to love his running style, his determination. Kieran's loaded in here. He's got Primetime Man as well, a horse that I think is a little bit more tactical, might get the jump on him. The last time they faced each other, you're going back, where was it, in May, right? And Primetime Man beat him by a length, but Brickyard did have some trouble, had to steady behind some horses turning for home before he shifted out and made his run. So one of these two, you're looking for a price, feel proud.
Sure.
They haven't dropped this horse back here for the tag. A couple not so good tries. That try back on May the 3rd is still resonating with me at a big price. That was a strong effort against some certainly capable Maryland breds. Feel Proud is fresh, and they're going to give them another shot in here. I am at 2, and I'm not going to let them beat me at a big price.
Yeah, Dorothy Wharton having a big year, and you get You get Caramanos, the 2 Feel Proud, should get a ground-saving trip, so we like the same 4 there in race 10. That's it. We're out of time. Stronach 5 today. That starts 4:30. First leg of the Stronach 5 is Gulfstream Park West. Race 7 starts at 4:30. Nice carryover today. And our pick 6 starting in race 5. Dave Rodman, he's coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.